listen to us and listen to us good. Ruffle every single feather you can ruffle.
Exactly.
Before you agree to get married.
Yeah.
Because if you don't ruffle the feathers before, when the ruffling starting of the marriage, when the feathers start to ruffle in the marriage,
they pick even the chicken.
And it's like saying that, like people tell you, do not make decisions of desperation.
Right.
Don't ever feel like boy, this is the last chance, or boy, this is the one. And because him love me and whatever, you're going to ignore the fact that you have things that you're concerned about.
Yeah, but do you know that there's a lot of females who believe that the only thing they should bring to the table is intercourse? Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
them keeping up on the goody may have the goody fluff up, nice up something. However, you have to make the conscious decision that this is what we're saying. This is what I'm expecting. What are you expecting of me? Because this is what I'm expecting of you. Well, nobody said, well, I don't really expect nothing. As long as you come in with the money and you paying no. Because like we sit here and say, we're not wasting our time. When life start to happen, life will happen. And you could have all the money in the world, because people who are billionaires, they have their struggles too. It may not be money, and I want for you to understand and look into it that they may have even more struggles than you do. But even though down the line, in being intimate, even that doesn't really have a strong place, because
by that,
in the sense that when life started to rob you, no matter that feeling that you felt that you have never felt before, if your light bill is not paid, if your water bill is not paid, because of
knowing what really matters to you, that's because you want married.
And we should put mental health too.
Oh yes,
we
definitely.
Should have mental health, because
definitely
everybody can manage the curves and the bends that marriage being, because
anybody who you see can't handle pressure,
run.
Don't give them a break.
Run,
because their mind are fully developed as yet. Because when you get married and stuff happens in life, you need somebody who's going to be able to hold it down.
Yeah.
Even when the thing look away, they're going to hold it down and say, you'll be able to get through. All will be going to work out, whatever the case may be. But if at the beginning you're talking with somebody and they can't take it here, man.
And Lord, every minute you just come with the stress, and why we have to talk about them heart something there?
Walk away.
Listen.
Walk. And now for our featured presentation. Hi everyone, welcome to another
Conversation with Lee.
Couples Corner. We are here one more time, guys, in the corner, in the car, having a couples chat. And we want to welcome all our new subscribers. You are no longer a subscriber, but you are
family. And
so as you are part of the family, we want to thank you for the support. And all of the foundation members, big up yourself, big up yourself. All right, last week, and I hope in fact, we are happy for all the comments and all the responses we've been getting on the videos.
All the support.
In fact, I want to say we can drop some of them comments in the last part of this video as I do the editing. Just to show you we appreciate your input. Last week we were looking at vulnerability, and then we stumbled on the topic of what will it take for you to come in agreement in making a decision to go forward, right? And we want to, and of course we expect you as normal to share your thoughts on whatever we're discussing. Give us your thoughts on it, right? So Michelle, from your standpoint, what does it take?
The main thing that it takes is communication, proper communication. So it's talking about the things that you may deem difficult to talk, or you may feel intimidated of talking about, which is money and sex and faith.
And children.
And children.
Yes. Where you want to live.
Exactly.
Yeah. And these points that you're going to have to agree on before going forward will come in the course of your courtship, dating, and the many conversations you'll have. What we have found is that a lot of times, because people want to get married, they ignore having certain conversation. Right. They ignore touching certain topics because, make it safe, when you get married, it will fix. When you're together, it will be fixed. Don't wait or don't ignore having some serious conversation around some touchy topics. So if you and your expected are talking and the topic of money come up and how you handle money and it never go down well with you, don't ignore it. If you're talking about how much children they want to have, he want to have a football team, you just want to have one, and he's very strong on it, and
there's no compromising,
don't ignore it. If she's talking about where you want to live, making a decision on where you want to live, and you have a different decision, you want to buy a house, she don't mind renting, do not ignore those conversations, because if you ignore those conversations, what you're going to find is that when you actually get married, you still have to face the conversation. You still have to face
it, because those components that make up life and decisions and quality of life, it's just what gonna have to come to face it, because that's what life is about.
Yeah,
that's what life surrounds, situation you have to deal with on a daily. So if those are things that every time you try to come together to reason about, it leaves you confused and divided, and there's just no going around fixing it, you're basically kicking against the bricks. So that's like a clear sign enough to know, say, all right, it not gonna work, and I spend your daily life a battle.
And the thing about it is this, you see, when you're the pre-course to marriage is supposed to bring you through all the rocky roads and the discomfort, right? Because when you go through all of that, what you actually do, and that's the thing, a lot of times people are afraid to have difficult conversation, especially during courtship or dating, because they don't want to turn off the individual. They don't want to turn off the potential person that them see. And sometimes the thought is, oh, maybe it's my last person, or the person really checked for me, and I don't want, I'm going to just ignore certain things.
But I don't want to ruffle the feathers.
Don't want to ruffle feathers. Listen to me, listen to us, and listen to us good. Ruffle every single feather you can ruffle.
Exactly.
Before you agree to get married.
Yeah.
Because if you don't ruffle the feathers before, when the ruffling starts in the marriage, when the feathers start to ruffle in the marriage,
I pick even the chicken.
All the fowl, I'll get it.
At a featherless.
You're gonna have a featherless fowl.
Like after, a furless cat.
Yeah. After
no, we're laughing, but it's true thing though, guys.
It is, and the truth is, when you have these difficult conversations, whatever it is, because we just raise a few, but whatever it is that you find it is a sticking point, or it is something that you can't come in agreement with, do not stop having those conversations. And even if you disagree to agree, at least you came to some decision on the matter. But don't ignore it and say, you know what, when you get married, we can sort that out. Right. When you get married, we'll discuss this. No. Have the difficult discussion before, that way, whether it's going to be around, as Michelle said, money, sex, children, where you're going to live, who's going to do certain faith, who's going to take care of the bills, who's going to do whatever. as it relates to even friends coming over, yada yada, have all of that conversation. Because when you do what you're doing now, you're deciding, okay, is this what I can handle? Is this something I can deal with? Is this something I can compromise on? Or is it something I cannot compromise on?
And again, guys, the thing is, it may sound silly, but you have to consciously think about who will manage the money. Everybody will make decision about the money, but who will literally manage it? Right? It's fair and all good if you have two persons who are good enough person to say, okay, they're conscientious, they're focused, they're disciplined. Yeah, handle the money, that's good, there's not a problem. But in most cases, you have two persons where one person, they are good with being the banker of the funds. Like, okay, this would be the person that will pay the bills. Not meaning that like out of their pocket, but meaning that
out of the consolidated fund.
Right. And okay, so all right. For instance, Cornell could be in charge of paying the bills, providing the funds to pay the bills. Say that is his responsibility. But and vice versa, he may not be the best person who the sole responsibility should be left upon to say, I am going to pay it the 21st or the 1st. Is it that he doesn't care that he pays on time? Of course. But it may be that he have a lot of stuff on his mind. It may be that he have good intention but not a good keeper of time. So worst case scenario, we know what can happen when you don't pay the bills on time, not because you don't have the money. So here you go, you may have the lady now wherein she on top of things with, okay, this date this needs to be done, on that date surely that have to be covered. So gently pass over the money to the lady to take her own little time, whether to pay it online or to actually go to the offices and pay for the bill. Easy thing, easy solution. It don't make sense. I don't have no time to go down there. I don't have time to go online to deal with it. I can't see why you keep forgetting that, you know? You understand? Because sometimes, all the time, we have to be thoughtful and just pay attention to what are the things that are happening in our lives and see who is the best person to do what or to take care of what. And while these may seem like, oh, that's a simple thing, let me tell you, if you don't learn your person and then work accordingly, then your life can end up being miserable. Or even in those little things that we're saying, say for instance, in coming, you understand, coming to know to deal with these things, you have big issues over it. There's just no compromising, there's just no coming together in dealing with it. You have to make a decision,
and your decision cannot be driven by how you feel
at that moment.
Your decision has to be driven by facts, and these facts are going to be the tenets or the foundation that you build a relationship on. Okay, I can handle this, I can handle that, I can handle this, I can handle that. Because once you get these parts out of the way, when you bring your feelings into play now, you can actually express the feelings and feel free and feel nice. Why? Because the other little thing them don't take care already, don't decide on how to go already. Right? It is vital that when you're moving forward with somebody, right? I mean, whether Christian or not, once you're moving forward with somebody, you put certain things in place. Like, it is so critical, guys, that if you don't do it that way, take it from us, you're going to run into trouble.
Exactly.
So once you make you initiate the conversation, you're going to be with this person, there has to be a level-headed conversation, because the butterflies will always be there. They will always be there, but there has to come a point where you sit down and inevitably, once you talk with a person, a whole heap of little things going to come up. And if you're really, really serious about the person, you cannot ignore what matters to you.
Exactly. You cannot live outside. You cannot live at a good shape. You cannot live at the cute face or the beautiful
or how well she looks with you beside you, going out and whatnot. Those things are trivial.
Mark you. That gets your attention. You have the attention grabber. You understand? It's like even a very, say for you're making a pitch. You know, you have your company and you're making a pitch. Of course, you're gonna have the attention grabber. After you get the attention, now you have to look on the substance. And after you look on the substance, you have to examine the product. Is it really a product wherein the people that are more interested for
does it do what it says on
does
the tin?
It do what it said it's supposed to do? How is it gonna enhance somebody's life? So it may sound weird, but that's basically it right across the board. Is it temporary? Is it that as you get it, boy, is it, and it never make no sense? It's just waste of time, waste of money, everything. So it's the same thing to, don't be offended, but it's the same thing in coming to know somebody.
And 99% of the time, if you find somebody not willing to compromise on certain things, even as simple as it is, I'm not willing to compromise, because oftentimes, you know, we allow our heart and our feelings to override our conscious thinking. And you see, after you're married and the sex is going on and the honeymoon done or whatever, then your consciousness starts to kick in. And your consciousness starts to kick in. Everything that you had an issue with prior to that you ignore, you have an issue with now. Because why? The desire to have has now been gone. Why? Because you have no.
Exactly.
So we are going to know.
What is this person bringing to the table? And that's a question that most people find offensive and you really shouldn't have. Because whether or not you realize it, the person that you call to be yours or choosing to be yours, they have to bring something to the table. And many people hear it's like, Lord, I wonder how she gonna help me, more help me get rich. But it's not necessarily just about money. It's about enhancing your life in every aspect of the things that we have highlighted earlier. The areas that we highlighted earlier. Nevertheless, the person may be able to bring something great in all those areas, but maybe because of how you were brought up, maybe because of the strains of life, whatever, the person here herself may not readily pick up that they have those components within them and attributes and things like that to help. But you should be able to be paying attention, because you know what you want, you know what you desire, right? And what you're willing. While you're desiring, please know that you have to give too, because vice versa. It's not just you or us. What do you have to bring to the table? And you think that you are Father Jesus, who you sent from above, so nobody should be even try to think about what you bring in return, because it's vice versa. So sometimes you may identify these things within the individual, but the individual may not readily, see themselves in that light, and they may need a little rub around the edges. So hence, that is why we're even here talking. Because people go through things that cause them to either shut down or to act indifferent, but it doesn't mean that they're not capable to possess, you understand, the good fruits and the good attributes of what to make up, a relationship. So that's where now you have the thing wherein, no matter of fact, to be honest, you could have been perfect. You can think that you're so perfect that your God gifts, as I was saying, sent to somebody. But even then, you still need to work on two, because then if you take it, the two have to become one. And for the two to become one, there have to be some trimming, some brushing, because guess what? You may be believe you're God sent, maybe from a previous relationship, but you may not be the God sent when we really, you understand, I expect in this present relationship, because different people, different folks, different strokes. So it don't mean that the person don't possess the quality, but they could be in the far back that need to pull up and draw up and rub off and brush off and move on. So everybody's really a work in progress, but you must know what you want. key thing, what you're looking for.
And it's okay to define what you are looking for. And it's okay that the person define, because nowadays a lot of people are rushing, whether Christian or not, rushing into marriage because of they're just overwhelmed with the feeling and them have the money for do it and they want to do it. But 99, well, not 99%, because them say marriage in church is like 50% divorce, 50% marriage. So it is important that when you don't rush into it because of how you feel and because you have the money and because the pastor want to get married, or this
or you look good together like a power couple picture,
and a long time now you're single and whatever the case may be. Even, and it's like saying that, like people tell you, do not make decisions of desperation.
Right.
Don't ever feel like boy, this is the last chance, or boy, this is the one, and because him love me and whatever, you're going to ignore the fact that you have things that you're concerned about.
Yeah, because your friend like her so much, or she fit the criteria of your friend perfect girl. And you have her or him in your position, and your friend has said, "Man, you're lucky, man. Boy, I'm rich within your position." But you try save face and you try hang on because brother like her, brother like. Well, what were you, baby? It happen a lot.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody who's in them real mind.
You best believe it.
I got make them decision based on friends and whatever the case may be.
Some people
and if it do, and if
they
it
don't
do
know what they want, so they're influenced by outside.
And if it do happen, if you listen to us, that means you need to hear this, because the truth of the matter is, there has to be going forward in a 2025. There has to be a conscious look of who you are, what you want, and does this person bring what you need to complement your life to the table, and the vice versa. The person must look on the same ends, because if it's not there, it is not there, and you just move on.
But do you know that there's a lot of females who believe that the only thing they should bring to the table is intercourse?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
them keeping up on the goody may have the goody fluff up, nice up something. They think that, and then because the men stifle their conscience of always being the pocket, him bring the pocket, and then now later on when they make the decision to be in the relationship, and him always have to go be the pocket because she willing to always be the.
And it speaks to the fact that even as
them get cheated on,
even as men, we have to be conscious and know, say, all right, that because she's willing, or she have the shape or whatever the case is, those can be the main criteria. And I think everybody that say, yeah man, we know that brother Leah, we know that,
but they still live it.
But still you see people still make, even especially in the church, they make that mistake. And hear it, and I think we made mention of that two imperfect persons come together can make something great. But even when you come together as imperfect persons, come together with consciously making a decision, come together and at the first outset, as we always say again, don't waste your time and don't waste nobody's time. If you're gonna come together because you think you like the person, come and just be honest from the get-go. If there are things that have a vulnerable nature and whatever the case, when you get married, those vulnerabilities will come out. But at the outset, just be an open book. Don't waste her time, and she don't waste your time. And then you can consciously, because that also brings the friendship, when each other know everything straight up from the butt, about each other. And then the consciousness of making a decision is easier on you.
And hold each other accountable.
Yeah. It's easier on you.
This is what we agreed upon. If it's not something, because we know that we plan on God wipe out, and at the end of the day, God have a final say whether you're Christian or not. Reality is reality. Unless you go there and make certain choices and decisions, the Lord will allow you if you're not under His banner. However, you have to make the conscious decision that this is what we're saying. This is what I'm expecting. What are you expecting of me? Because this is what I'm expecting of you. Well, nobody said, well, I really expect nothing. No. As long as you come in with the money and you paying no. Because like we sit here and say, we're not wasting our time. When life start to happen, life will happen. And you could have all the money in the world, because people who are billionaires, they have their struggles too. It may not be money. And I want for you to understand and look into it that they may have even more struggles than you do, than we do, which is, Lord, if only we could get some more money. Because most of the time that is people who don't have a lot of wealth problem. But if you take the time to look and see, you realize that your life is cool and it's really going good. But those people have tremendous problem, and you understand. And most of the time too is because they're at people may say me love to use this word, but it comes up at the right time. They are at the deficit because they are more seen because of what they have, how they can help on all of this. So you find out that even them themselves struggle to find true and genuine love interest that will come merely from the whole interest of interested in the individual,
a natural connection
rather
than being motivated by money.
Things. You understand?
Sorry,
go ahead.
And even in church, don't be forced to get married to anybody, because church people want to get married, our pastors if you get married. You understand? Make it be that you, because at the end of the day, you have to live with this person, and 99% of the time the pastor would appreciate that. You have to lead that stressful marriage to try to fix. And
sometimes they compromise too early. You compromise too early, and it put you in a stiff jacket wherein you are now in your head instead of in your sober thoughts that this is not going to work. A lot of people will say we've been together like for a century and everybody expects we to go down the aisle. And so live your life consciously and soberly, that you don't have to put yourself in situations where you feel obligated other than connected. And guilt other than being genuinely connected with the person and choosing the right person in the best of your ability. You understand? So,
and the truth is, even after you have done all of this, like you've had the serious conversations, you've indicated what are your deal breakers and your sticking points, and stuff that are non-negotiable, and you say, okay, I'm gonna go forward with you because we have dealt with the situation. When you transition into marriage, there will be other stuff to deal with. Stuff that come about because you're now living together, you're now in each other's space every single day. But here we go on. You see, because you dealt with some things before you get married, and you had those hard discussions. If you're not married now, it becomes easy now, because under the first you have butt heading, and the first you rub against each other.
Not
you understand?
The first rodeo.
Right. So you realize you develop how to make compromises at that point. But before you get married, the compromise should be less. Like,
it should be manageable.
You're not
doable.
See a way for compromise before you're married. Let the compromising come after you're married. We know, so okay, we've been through the rough stuff. This we can deal with, whatever the case is.
And it becomes truly easier indead, because then you realize that the person is worth it.
That is it. So now you have something you really want to work for keep. You understand?
And that's what is the substance of the marriage, apart from God.
Yeah.
That's the substance of it. The journey of it that builds the character, that builds the intimacy, that builds the trust, that builds the confidence, and that builds the love. Not highfalutin feelings, but making a conscious choice. I want to be with you. I want to share with you. I want to learn with you. I want to accomplish things with you and enjoy doing so. That is what the love is. Love is not like, oh, the feeling that I feel, whatever it is that when I'm around you. But mark you, when you're just knowing each other, you do get the feeling that you feel that you've never felt before. But that is also part of the eye-opener of catching, paying attention, being aware that, okay, let me see what this person is made up of. But even though down the line in being intimate, even that doesn't really have a strong place, because
by that,
in the sense that when life started to rob you, no matter that feeling that you felt that you have never felt before, if your light bill is not paid, if your water bill is not paid because of some misunderstanding or some whatever, if there's no food in the house, if the children are not being taken care of when they come, you understand? If it's a situation, oh, I would love to go back to school, but I can't because that wasn't placed on the table. So whatever the
problems that come, sexual, emotional,
yeah, when those stress lick you left, right, and center, the person that you view so wow, tall, dark, and handsome, all of a sudden, you now remember where that feeling is. Because what? It's being suppressed by all of the things that need for you to have a quality life. So quality, there's a name for quality, something another. It's a must. Nobody, like even my husband expressed before, you know, if he could go back, he wouldn't say for better, for worse, or what have you, because he believes words have power. Is a reason nobody want married for worse.
Yeah.
Even if people look on and say, oh my God, one time they married them and this and that, you should know what is your accomplishments, not on the outside. And when you know what is your accomplishment and what really bring you joy and the struggles you have been through and the hurdles you have crossed and the intimacy you have built and the quality of life that you have internally, you don't need to impress anybody out on the street or externally. You just need to live within the range in which God have ordained and is their will for your life, and enjoy doing so, and take your time and build and grow.
So whatever this decision or tough discussions you need to make, have them before you get married.
Right.
And we listed a few, whether it's how much children you want to have, where you're going to live, who will handle the money, they can't know. I mean, yes, you know, even vacation, how much time you want, whatever the case may be, if you're going to rent or if you're going to buy a house, whatever those sticking points are, have those rough conversation first. And when you have those rough conversation, then make your emotion come in after. Exactly. But don't make your emotion rule you first, because it can bring you down the wrong direction of ignoring what really matters to you just because you want.
And we should put mental health too.
Oh yes,
we definitely should have mental health, because
definitely
everybody can manage the curves and the bends that marriage being, because
anybody who you see can't handle pressure,
run.
Don't give them a break.
Run,
because their mind are fully developed as yet. Because when you get married and stuff happens in life, you need somebody who's going to be able to hold it down.
Yeah.
Even when the thing look away, they're going to hold it down and say, "Yo, babe, we're going to get through. All will be well, going to work out," whatever the case may be. But if at the beginning you're talking with somebody and they can't take it here, man.
And Lord, every minute you just come with the stress and why we have to talk about them heart something there?
Walk away.
Listen.
Walk away.
Let your antennas up and say, alright. Okay, so you cannot manage.
Alright, so with us a reason, because we see a lot of things that go on now
that can be prevented, and
we have seen a lot of things over the years. But we are saying anybody who will get married now must do it consciously. And there's another thing that is, I mean, for me as a man, is priceless. And I know nowadays, man, it has a lot been said by men. Peace of mind is vital. Because if something go bad and you have your peace of mind, you can build back. If something go bad and your mind gone, dog, supper. Only God himself can literally come and hold you and help you to rebuild. But once you have your mind, you can rebuild. So it's important that whoever you're with is going to enhance your peace of mind, and you enhancing theirs. You understand me?
And a man that loves peace of mind should carry peace. Should be a man
should
of
be
peace.
A peaceful man himself.
Not gonna pick up no crosses and stir up trouble. I expect you have to
So are you saying there's crosses in church?
I'm not really relating only to church in general,
that's
but
in general.
there's really crosses everywhere you go, to be honest.
And the crosses will mean like there are
the Spirit of God doesn't travel with men always.
There are persons who are not fully under the banner of God, even in church, who are not under the control of the Lord, and so them flesh, rule them most of the time. And what you see come out is what is real. And what is real, don't ignore it. As much as she look good, if what come out of her or what come out of him is real, and the real, don't ignore the real. Walk away. Save yourself the trouble, because divorce and all these things is far more embarrassing than you deciding not to marry this person.
Right, and if the person keep on putting you in compromising situations, you understand, be careful. Be careful, because you see that feeling where people talk about, I felt a feeling that I've never felt before and all of this. It's a dangerous thing because you cannot live there.
So guys, again, we just wanted to have this conversation with you guys, and we hope it helped. This was mainly for those who were thinking of getting married, and even those who are already married, you know, you're already there, don't you have to just work it through. But consciously walking into marriage is the better thing to do than being emotionally driven.
And that person who is considering whether or not to make somebody permanent in the sense that, you know, you've been talking and maybe she's hounding you down for a child, maybe it's him hounding you down for a child. A child is a lifetime investment. So if it's not somebody that you genuinely see, so whether it's the man or the woman you want to spend the rest of your life with or be in their life for the rest of your life, don't just drop your seed, because guess what, whether or not a child is involved, and they're going to be in your life forever, at least until a child is 18 years old. 18 years is a lot of years, a decade and more. So you have to start making good decisions, you know. And
it's okay to wait.
It's okay to wait.
And it's okay to say no.
Not new under the sun. Everything is a
revolve for me. It's okay to say this is not gonna work.
Yeah, around and around.
And you have a mutual separation, a mutual understanding. You know what? It was nice knowing you, but it's not going to work.
Let us part, even if we're not friends, but not enemies, whatever. But
so we're gonna pray. We believe that we don't just talk because we have the mouth. We talk because there's somebody who needs to hear this going forward with a certain situation in their life. All right, we're gonna pray that God will give direction and that God will guide. You know, Father, we want to thank you for everything that you have done in our lives and what you're doing. We want to thank you for every family member, every person who has subscribed and who's watching. We want to thank you, Lord God, that they took the time out to watch these videos and that they took the time to even share it with somebody who they know needed to hear this, mighty God. And so we ask you, Lord, that you will help them to be guided by your word and to be guided by conscious decision and conscious communication. That God, if they decide to go and walk in marriage, they will have done it, God, with an open mind and with their eyes wide open, and that God, you will help them to deal with the rest, because God Almighty, they made a conscious decision. I pray, God, for those who are in marriage and who are having situations who are contemplating divorce, mighty God, may you help them to fix it. May you help them to sort it out, mighty God, that they may see each other through each other's eyes and become lovers again and become friends again. Let your will be done, Father, as we commit what we have, this video and our channel, into your hands again. Let your will be done, and may you touch somebody's life even now through this medium. We want to give you thanks and praise and glory in Jesus' name. Bless you guys, and as we always say, life is worth living.
Live it through Christ.
And have some fun at the same time.
Blessings.
Blessings.